Today, what I want to do is show a very simple way of playing the Cream classic Sunshine of Your Love. The, the song, I mean, it's a Clapton song, right? There's a lot going on, but I've found that you can really simplify it. It sounds like the song. You could play along with other musicians using this way of playing it, but it's a lot easier to pick up than the way that it's normally played. So it's primarily, say, 3 parts to the song. It's a very repetitive pattern, and so we're going to work our way through it. We're going to start with that initial riff that everybody knows. It opens the song. It's the main part of the verses. It's really everywhere. But what we're going to do is we're going to play power chords. We're going to do this entirely with power chords, and we're going to start with a D power chord, which is on the 5th fret of the A string. So our index finger is going to be on the 5th fret of the A. Our ring finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the D. And we're just going to lay our index finger against the rest of the strings to mute them. We're also going to have the tip of our index finger resting against the E to mute that. Okay, so we're going to have that power chord, that's a D. And we're going to go twice. And then we're going to slide up to the 3rd fret for the C there. And then back to the D. So that's the core of the main riff. Now we get into a little bit of simple single note playing. We're going to start with our ring finger on the 7th fret of the D, and then our middle finger on the 6th fret of the D, and our index finger on the 5th fret of the D. Then we're going to come up like we would have for the C. We're going to put our ring finger on the 5th fret of the A string, and then our index finger on the 3rd fret of the D, and back to that 5th fret of the A. The whole main riff together is going to be okay. So that's the main part of the riff. That opens the song, goes through 2 times in the intro. And then when we get into the verses, it starts with that. There's a pattern I'll explain in a minute. But we start up there, so we have that is going to be where we're going to basically live for the song, is right up in here. Now, there's a part in the verse where we go from that riff to a slightly higher version, and that's going to be up here at the 10th fret, the A string. So index fingers on the 10th fret of the A, so that is a G. And our ring finger is going to be at the 12th fret of the D, so that's a D. And we do the same exact pattern, but just up here. So we're going to go from the 10th fret to the 8th fret, back to the 10th, and then we're going to play the same single note riff. Okay? So those 2 parts together are going to be the core of the song. For the first verse, we're going to do this pattern up here 6 times. Up here, then we'll come up here twice. And then we go back down twice again. So we do that whole pattern with the single notes and everything. For the first verse, it's 6 times. I'll go into the pattern again at the end. So the next part of the verse is this, it's on the, we're going to go an A power chord, which is the 5th fret of the low E, and it's going to be down, up, down. Okay. And then we go over to a C power chord, which is the 3rd fret of the A for 1, and then we're going to go up 1 string to the G. Okay, so that whole part is okay, and we play that 3 times. The last part of the verse is here again back to the A, and this is It's a kind of a galloping pattern. So the best way really is just to demonstrate it. But you'll see it's kind of dun, da dun, da dun, da dun. So. Okay. So if we put all those parts together, I'm not going to play every repetition, but we're going to go do our. And we'll do that, and we'll be up here. Then back down here. And then. So that is really the core of the song. The next thing to know is just that pattern I talked about. So we have, main part of the riff is played twice for the intro. Okay. And then when the rest of the band comes in, for the first verse, we're going to play this D, starting the section with the D. We're going to play this part 6 times. You come up here twice. And back down here twice. Then we get into this whole section. But the difference between all the verses is going to be how many times you play, starting with this section from the D to the C and back to the D, how many times you play that, and before you go up here to the 10th fret. The first verse, you're going to do it 6 times. Second verse is 5 times. Third verse is 4 times. And then it's back to 5 at the end. That part, the 4, where you're playing the 4, that's in the song, that's where the solo comes in. I don't play the solo in our band, so I can't teach the solo. But that's really all there is to it. You know, I'm a big fan, if you've seen any of my other lesson videos, of trying to find the simplest way to play the song and have it be recognizable. Right? We all get frustrated with trying to learn a new song, and you're just, you know, it just sounds like a chord progression. You can't really hear the song itself. But I think if we pick up the riffs and we find simple ways to play those recognizable riffs, then you can really get a chance to play the song without much earlier in your progress of being a musician than you would if you've had to wait and try to play it note for note the way Eric Clapton has played it. He has probably a little more experience playing guitar than we do. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please leave a comment and let us know what other songs you'd like us to go over. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. And thank you for joining me today for Sunshine of Your Love, and we will see you in the next video.